Star Trek 4's production changes contributed to the director's exit in detailed report. For years, Star Trek 4 has been the elusive fourth entry in the Kelvin timeline saga, a film that seems trapped in a gravitational anomaly of shifting creative visions, recasting rumors, and studio indecision. Every time it appears ready to warp into production, it gets pulled back by behind-the-scenes turbulence. Now, new details have emerged suggesting that the film's most recent delay and the exit of its attached director were largely due to major production changes that reshaped the project from the inside out. The latest report paints a picture of a production caught between two conflicting forces: Paramount's desire to revitalize Star Trek as a cinematic brand and the creative realities of delivering a sequel worthy of the 2009 reboot's legacy. Those internal contradictions, according to sources, made the film's environment fluid and unsteady, conditions that ultimately led the director to walk away. A troubled voyage from the start. Since the release of Star Trek Beyond in 2016, Paramount has struggled to chart a steady course for its big-screen Star Trek future. While J.J. Abrams' original reboot energized the franchise with blockbuster spectacle, the diminishing box office returns of Into Darkness and Beyond left the studio uncertain about how to proceed. Plans for Star Trek 4 initially looked promising. A story that would reunite Chris Pine's James T. Kirk with his late father, George Kirk Chris Hemsworth, through a time-bending narrative. Fans were intrigued, but that version quickly fell apart when salary negotiations reportedly broke down. Subsequent attempts included hiring Fargo and Legion creator Noah Hawley for a more cerebral, virus-themed Star Trek film, which was also shelved. By the time WandaVision's Matt Shakman signed on in 2021, the production seemed finally to be back on track. His vision reportedly blended high-concept science fiction with character-driven storytelling, a tone that would have echoed the success of recent Star Trek series like Strange New Worlds. But as new studio leadership stepped in, Shakman's carefully calibrated direction began to collide with a shifting production agenda, creative rewrites, and studio overhauls. The most recent report from industry insiders suggests that Paramount's executive reshuffle in 2022 played a key role in destabilizing the project. The studio's new leadership, aiming to rebrand Star Trek under a unified, shared universe strategy that linked streaming and film, wanted Star Trek 4 to serve as a kind of cinematic anchor for the franchise. That meant major rewrites. What was once envisioned as a character-driven farewell to the Kelvin crew reportedly morphed into a setup for a new generation of Star Trek heroes. Screenwriters were brought in to open up the story, while Paramount's television division provided input to ensure future crossovers could remain possible. The result? A creative tug-of-war. Shakman, known for his meticulous attention to tone and structure, reportedly grew frustrated with the studio's shifting expectations. Each iteration of the script, from emotional legacy sequel to franchise-launching reboot, moved further from his original vision. As one insider put it, Matt signed on for a Star Trek movie. The studio wanted a Star Trek universe starter. Those are two very different missions. Scheduling conflicts were the final straw. Publicly, Shakman's departure was attributed to scheduling conflicts with Marvel's Fantastic Four, a major opportunity that aligned perfectly with his trajectory as a blockbuster director. But according to the new report, that explanation only told part of the story. Sources close to the production claim that Shakman's decision to leave wasn't simply about timing, it was about control. The shifting production calendar, caused by ongoing script revisions and budget reconsiderations, made it impossible to commit to a coherent filming schedule. Paramount reportedly pushed the project's start date back several times, each delay making it harder for the director to remain attached without sacrificing momentum on other projects. When Fantastic Four came knocking, it offered Shakman something Star Trek 4 couldn't: creative stability and full studio support from day one. A project in search of a captain, Shakman's exit left Star Trek 4 without a captain once again. While Paramount initially insisted the project remain in active development, insiders reveal that the studio quietly reevaluated its direction afterward. Some reports suggest that Abrams' Bad Robot is still attached as a producer, but the studio is considering a new creative team entirely, one that might reimagine the film as a soft reboot or a passing of the torch. At the same time, Paramount's television branch has continued expanding the Star Trek brand in other ways. Strange New Worlds, Lower Decks, and Starfleet Academy have all shown that the franchise thrives best when it explores new perspectives rather than retreading old.